All right, to take this further, we are being joined by Ruthie Bloom, who is joining us live from Tel Aviv. She is a former advisor at the office of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and also an author. Ms. Bloom, thank you so much for joining us here on WION. I want to ask you, on what basis is Israel's national security advisor saying that 7 more months of fighting is needed in Gaza?
Well, I think what he means is that though we are doing quite a good job of taking out Hamas battalions, and now that we've gone into Rafah, we can finish off the rest of them. You know, there are terrorists that keep running back to the northern part of Gaza. And many of these terrorists, you understand, first of all, there's not only Hamas in Gaza, there's also Palestinian Islamic Jihad. And it's very hard because of the tunnel network to get every single terrorist. Also, because Israel has to be extremely careful and is being extremely careful not to harm Palestinian civilians and not to kill hostages being held by the terrorists. The fighting is extremely precision oriented. And when the war started, we were told that it would take a year.
Ms. Bloom, you say that Israel's strikes are precision oriented. At the same time, they are doing everything to keep Palestinians safe. I want to bring in a point here. Israel has killed 66 Palestinians in 4 days of attack. And these are in the zones that Israel itself has claimed to be the safe zones in Rafah. How do you react to that then?
Okay, first of all, every single death in Gaza is the responsibility of Hamas. The war would have ended on October 8th, and it wouldn't have even, the ground operation wouldn't have even started if Hamas were to, had released the hostages and put down its weapons. That's number one. Number two, Hamas, the fires that were started around the humanitarian zones were a result of Hamas munitions being stored near the tents. We know that from audio received from Gazans talking about this, and gas tanks. Now, every death is a tragedy if it's a death of a civilian. There's no question about that. But the fact that we're at war, it's a war we didn't want, we didn't start, it's a war that we have to win. And there's no such thing as a war with no casualties. Having said that...
All right, I would quickly like to interject. Do you think at this point Israel is doing everything in its power to keep the civilians in Gaza safe?
Yes. Having said that, we also have to fight a war, and our soldiers are also being killed, you understand. But our ratio of civilians to combatants in this war is the lowest in military history, according to military experts.
Ms. Bloom, what does a post-war Gaza look like to you?
Post-war Gaza, well, I can tell you what it doesn't look like more than
I want to ask you, what does it look like?
Well, in a utopian world, what it looks like is an area that is free of terrorism as a way of life, as a strategy, and as an education system element. And once you de-radicalize it and you demilitarize it, and also, by the way, certainly in the near future, Israel will have to retain military control.
But your own defense minister is against that, by the way. But okay, let's go with that. You said you called it a utopian situation. 7 months from now, because that's what Israel is quoting, do you see that happening?
No, I don't see that utopia happening in 7 months. No way. And by the way, I'm not speaking for the government. I'm speaking for myself. All right. Second, we have other fronts that we're fighting right now, or we haven't started. But we are being attacked from all over the place, including from Lebanon, from Iraq, from Iran. Now, once we take care of Rafah, the idea is that we have to, in order to restore security in Israel's north and to return all the evacuees in Israel to their homes, we have to confront Hezbollah, another Iranian proxy.
All right, Ms. Bloom, thank you so much for joining us here on WION and getting us all those updates.
Thank you, Ananya.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.